Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here ready to go for another match of the Sevens series. Going to be Australia taking on the South Africans in Toulouse. This is the fifth place semi-final. The winner of this contest goes on to face the winner of Ireland versus Great Britain. Looking through at the starting lineup for the Australians, it will be James Turner, Dietrich Roach, Tim Clements, Henry Patterson, Josh Turner, Nick Maloof, and Maurice Longbottom. Then for the South Africans, Ryan Oosterhuizen, MP Fisa, Christy Robala, De Walt Uman, Mfundo Ndlovu, also Ronald Brown and Sean Williams. So this is going to be an entertaining game. These two sides normally pretty even when they play off, but the Olympic ticket, automatic qualification just around the corner perhaps for one, if not both, of these two sides. Now, De Walt Uman going to be kicking this one off for the South Africans. And we are ready to go for a fifth place semi-final. Now, Uman kicks it high. And Australia will be receiving the ball, taken nicely. Now, I should mention Australia, they've had a couple big wins so far throughout this Sevens series. They were able to beat the Samoans, also managing to beat the Irish, who are playing in the other side of the fifth place playoffs. Nice run here from James Turner. Moves up to about 30 metres out from the Australian line. Now, once again, going across to the right-hand side, the big man, Nick Maloof inside ball, Henry Patterson. Rare mistake from him to have a knock on. He's normally the one who is scoring the tries. That's a big one for them. So at the moment, Australia are sitting on 112. Samoa sitting on 111. So I believe South Africa, as long as they don't finish maybe 8th, I think that would mean that South Africa would actually go above Samoa. Go Aussie, oi, oi, oi. Here's Peter Stowers there. But now South Africa got themselves the scrum feed, goes out the back. Penalty goes the way of South Africa. Ronald Brown now tackled by Maurice Longbottom. I think may have conceded a penalty, which might lead to a yellow card. Now De Walt Uman trying to find the gap there. A little bit of a high tackle there from Josh Turner. It's just disciplinary issues from the Australians. Back to back to back. Oosterhuizen now goes across to Willie Impifesa at number 3, 10 metres out from the line. He's tackled well. And so I calculated that if Australia lose this game, they will get 124 points overall and Samoa 116. So Samoa has a chance to get a lot of points in London. Australia maybe doesn't make it to the quarterfinals, says Tal. Although I'm not too sure whether or not this is the last leg for the Olympic qualifications, because I know it's the last leg for the relegation and promotion zone. Relegation zone down the bottom. So I'm not sure if it's the same for the Olympics. Oh, brilliant run from Mfundo Ndlovu. They pretty much had him tackled, but then he just got back up to his feet. No one held him. And he is able to score the first try of the match for the Blitzboks. Now get them their first of maybe many throughout this contest. Just bouncing off the ground. And Ndlovu using his agility to his advantage in the Blitzboks. Now getting themselves a 5-0 lead. Deep breath being taken here from De Walt Uman. And the kick misses away to the right-hand side. He'll be disappointed with that. I think you would have definitely liked to get that one over, but 4.5 minutes now remaining in this one. Scoreboard hopefully will update soon, but it is yet to do so. And it doesn't look like it wants to yet. Nope, still no. Let's go to the box, says JP. Yeah, good start to the match for the Blitzboks, not allowing Australia out of their own half. And also that handling error from Henry Patterson meant that pressure just built a little bit more on the Aussies. Nice take there. Nick Maloof able to take it in a diving catch. Now through the hands of Maurice Longbottom. It's gone backwards. Now he's put himself in quite a tricky scenario. He's in a one-on-one with Ryan Oosterhuizen. Dietrich Roach going across now. I believe, was he in the starting lineup? Yes, he was. Now Henry Patterson, here he goes. The big man, the man who normally doesn't have too many errors. Bit of a counter-ruck there from Christy Robala. Works out as well. De Walt Uman now going to the short side. Out to Impifesa. Managing to take him down 5 minutes from the line. That will be a penalty for the Australians. I think they've got to kick this one downfield into touch. No, they take the quick tap and decide that that is what they'd rather do. Now, this is risky from them because they are deep inside of their own area. Christy Robala manages to hold him up off the ground using that physicality that the Blitzboks always like to bring to the game of sevens. Now wide pass out to James Turner, one-on-one, bumps off Sean Williams and still goes. Ronald Brown now in the foot race with him. Does just manage to take him down. Tries to get back up to his feet to go again. Josh Turner on the halfway line. Nick Maloof, believe the advantage is over for offside against the Blitzboks. Dietrich Roach now finding another offload. My voice is starting to disappear a little bit. That's not ideal. Maloof goes across to Maurice Longbottom. It's going to be a knock-on advantage against the Blitzboks. The arm is out. Now Henry Patterson, he will get himself his first try of the contest. And it's a yellow card for the Australians. Or sorry, for the South Africans. It's going to be Impivisa. This is the water that was here yesterday. And it's not great, so we will get new water after the stream. Well, we just needed enough to get that vocal cord going. Nick Maloof, very dangerous player. Same with Henry Patterson. Same with Nathan Lawson. They've just got that little bit of extra size, which now South Africa will be lacking for the next 2 minutes due to Impivisa being taken off the field. But Australia now find themselves sitting 7 points to 5 up. 2 minutes remaining in the half. Maurice Longbottom. Ready to kick this one off for the Australians. 100 seconds remaining in the first half. Kicks off to this near side of the field. Nicely taken by Ndlovu, the lone try scorer so far for the Blitzboks. Ronald Brown goes across to the Uman. Now kicks it in behind. There is a lot of space available there, but it looks like the ball will be sitting up nicely for Nick Maloof, who now passes back across to Josh Turner, who goes to James Turner now. Tack and run here, Dietrich Roach, all on the outside. It's going to be called back as a forward pass. And now South Africa, only about 25 metres out from the line, have got themselves another scrum. I think Australia are going to win this one. There's Daniel Cox. Oh, yeah, they've got a good chance and a good squad at the moment, the Australians. They will be going on to face up against the winner of Ireland and Great Britain. It was close to going backwards, but just drifts forward a little bit. Now the scrum, 40 seconds left in the half and 20 seconds left of Impivisa's yellow card. Ronald Brown now. Got to feed this ball in and does so. Now going off to the side, the walled Uman. Now with the step, Ronald Brown joins the breakdown to keep this on the side of the Blitzboks. Rhino stays and goes back to Christy Horobla. Now Ndlovu, big fend there on Dietrich Roach, fires the ball out wide to Sean Williams, and he's got the pace to get him for the try. And that will be the last play, I believe, of the first half. The South Africans taking the lead back. The second try in Toulouse for Sean Williams. And I should mention they were playing with 6 men while still having Impivisa off the field, but it just shows the danger in the South African attack when they get any sort of opportunity out wide. The pace that some of their players possess just seems to be a little bit too much for the defence. Going into halftime, I believe the score will be 12 points to 7. Don't think we've got time for another kickoff here. Hope that one is going to be halftime. 12 points to 7. And I have to say, an absolutely brilliant conversion from South Africa. Much needed one, given that little bit of an advantage over the Australians. I think 12 points to 7. Now, I should mention we have got 2 other matches of the semi-finals that we will be covering on the channel. That one will be Argentina versus Canada. That has taken place. I'll get the exact time. I think it's 11:26. No, not quite. 11:32 PM New Zealand time. It's when that Canada-Argentina semi-final was taking place. And then it is New Zealand versus France. That is going to be at 11:54 PM New Zealand time. We've got a couple big games in a row. Looking forward to seeing who manages to get the better of those ones. Bet you tired, Hamish. If you had any sleep at all this weekend, I think last night I managed about 5 hours sleep. The night before that, I think I got about probably the same, somewhere around there. So I'll have a big sleep probably tonight. That will be, well, I guess tomorrow, since it's going to be about 5:30 AM by the time we're finished everything. 8 tackles made by the Aussies, 4 missed tackles, 5 tackles made by South Africa, and 2 missed tackles for themselves. 10 carries per team, but just a few more passes coming from the Australians. 2 errors so far from Australia, yet to see one from the South Africans. Yeah, like I mentioned earlier on, these two sides are ranked very evenly, 5 and 7 at the moment. So they've got to be very careful with how they play in their next few games, because if they do end up losing any of their contests, that can pretty much heavily impact them. What we're going to do is we're going to go here, we're going to go here, we're going to go like this. There we go. Now it is going to be kicked off once again for the Australians. Maurice Longbottom does kick it long. Nicely slapped back for the Aussies. And that will be the first try of the half. Tim Clements gets himself that try. And Australia now got themselves back into the contest. Go like that and like that. There we go. That worked perfectly for the Australians, sitting 14 points to 12 now up. That will make the conversion 14 points to 12. 6.5 minutes remaining now in this contest. Doing the maths in my head, trying to work out that Olympic qualification. Very tricky to work out because you think that you know how the point system works overall, but then I'm not sure what happens with France. Because seeing as the Olympics are in France, I believe they have automatic qualification. So I don't know whether to count them in the top 5 that automatically qualify or whether we exclude them and it becomes like a top 4. A nice step from Sean Williams. Runs up hard. Josh Turner does take him down. Now Ronald Brown goes now across to the right-hand side. The Wald Uhrman has the pass option to Impey Visa on his inside and does decide to use it. Dietrich Roach and to make the tackle there. Good work in the breakdown. Note gets told off. Told not to use it. Now Reynolds to Hazen thought about the wide pass, but the Australian rush defence working beautifully. Now good run from Tim Clements. Looks for his offload. That is a deliberate knock on from Ryan Oosthuizen, I believe, but it's just going to be called as knock on. And light bulbs were such a great idea, it became a symbol for a great idea. Well, there you go. You ever thought of it that way? I've got 6 of them in the lounge. It's actually very nice because this side are on a switch and that side are on a switch. So that's why you can see a little bit of a glare behind the green screen sometimes, just because those ones are a little bit more bright, I guess you could say. Now Gerald be on the field now for the South Africans. He is a veteran of this game, playing everywhere he can. Now, Australia, though, 25 metres out from the line. Maurice Longbottom feeds the ball in, going across. Dietrich Roach, nice step. Oh, slap back by Gerdold, so it is going to be a backwards. No advantage there. Christy Robela has to release as it was a tackle. Took a hard hit on the ground. Now Dietrich Roach going back across Maloof. Offloads now to Dietrich Roach again. Big wide slinging pass tackle without the ball advantage to the Australians. Should mention that both of these sides are playing extremely physical rugby, and the reason for that is because whoever loses this game, no more matches will be taking place for them in Toulouse, which is exactly why they will be doing as much as they can to get themselves the victory. Josh Turner takes the tap, thought about going with the one-on-one side, and instead goes across to the right where he did have reinforcements. Good short ball to Nick Maloof. Off again to Maurice Longbottom. Just the 1-2. Thank you very much, say the Aussies. And now Maurice Longbottom just taking his time to put this ball down, not rushing it. And now he puts it down. It will be the 3rd try of the match for the Australians. Nice pass from Dietrich Roach, Maurice Longbottom. Then went to Maloof, got the ball back as well. That is the beauty of passing. Sometimes when you pass it, someone will give it back to you. And also, how did the All Black Sevens go today? Results, please, Hamish. So Daniel Cox so far, they have actually only played 1 game today. They were able to beat Ireland in the quarterfinals 35-0. And the only reason I say today is because that was the one that happened at about 4 a.m. yesterday morning. But other than that, they haven't actually played any more games. Their next one will be up against France which is taking place at 11:54. That man is dressed as a woman. At the Sevens, anything really goes. I've seen a man dressed with an alien behind him grabbing him. It's an interesting costume. Now that one, not quite going the 10 metres, but South Africa do decide to play at it anyway. So Suez Wapi. Tackle well by Dietrich Roach, I should say, rather than Rope. Oh, good at old. Going off now to Oosterhuizen. All on the outside. Here comes Ronald Brown. They got a little bit high from Maurice Longbottom. They are currently down by 9 here, the Blitzboks. So they will need 2 quick tries in 2.5 minutes. And Ricardo James Duarte tries to kick him behind, something that I didn't expect to see. The bounce is favourable for the South Africans, and James Murphy gets in for the try. They're back in the contest. Are you streaming the next New Zealand game? We certainly are. So that will be at 11:54, 11:56, I believe it is, for the Kiwis, and they will be going head-to-head with France in the semi-finals. Yeah, we will be covering that one on the channel, as well as the semi-final before that, which is between Argentina and Canada. Nice work from Murphy, just getting the strides going. He's a tall man, so even if the ball did bounce and there were more people contesting for it, he had a pretty good shot of walking away with the ball in hand. But that is now going to make the score 21 points to 19. Only another 1 minute 40 remaining in this contest. South Africans looking to cause an upset here. Tie. Now James Turner tried to get it right. That's a knock on from Murphy. So they've got the option of either a line out or the scrum. They've said it was a knock on first. So it is going to be the scrum. Or they have actually got the option. They can pick either way. Just have to make that decision. Scrum or line out. They're going to go for the scrum. 2 handling errors at the moment per team. 1 minute remaining on the clock for the Australians, but they are inside of their own 22. So they have to try and drive that little bit further up the park, or else they're in that scenario of if they give away that ball, South Africa could even get themselves a penalty and maybe go for the drop kick if they needed it. Now going back across. Dietrich Roach off to James Turner. Wrestle backwards, only 5 meters out now from the line. A little bit of a counteract there from Gerdold. Now Longbottom goes across to Patterson. 5 meters out from the line. Dietrich Roach goes back to Turner, gives it an almighty heave downfield. That is the tactic that Samoa used up against Ireland, although I think it's worked out a little bit better here for the Australians due to South Africa being inside of their own half, but they are now going to have one last crack. Oh, that was a bit of a mistake there from Nick Maloof, but got lucky, and the penalty goes the way of Australia. They've got 5 seconds remaining, and that will just about be the end of the contest for the Australians. Power Black are back on. Please give us a win. Unfortunately, it's going to be Australia who walk away with the victory there. That is going to be 21-19. Australia will go through to the 5th place playoff game, and the South Africans, their day is done, unfortunately. But nonetheless, we will be moving on to that next contest. In fact, no, we aren't. We've got a little break here on the Kiwi Lads channel, about a 20-minute break, and then we are back for the 2 semi-finals between Argentina and Canada, and also New Zealand taking on Le Bleu. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I will see you all for the next one.